Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
This is Oshi Season 2, Episode 3 and 4. Been a little bit behind, catching up now. Gonna be hopefully on time for next week. Leave a like, subscribe. Let's check it out. Oh, I thought we wouldn't even, I thought we would just like cut to her being like, holy shit, it was so good.
She just showed up here, puts on the sunglasses.
Just gave her his lunch.
It's not what you're supposed to take from that, but okay.
でもどうにかできるのはライダーさんだけですよ。
Now he gets serious.
腹割って話しませんか。僕は今すごく弱い立場に。先生が持つ当然の権利なんです。だからこそ頭に入れといてください。先生が書いた脚本はマジのマジでそのまま使う可能性があるということ。
Well, it will if
It
it's
will.
terrible.
考えてみてください。もし先生の書いた脚本がやばくても役者の稽古期間を確保するために可能性があります。仮に天才小説家がいたとしてそいつが初めて書いたになりますか。あるわけないです。
Then
脚本だって同じ最漫画家でもいきなり最高の舞台脚本は書けないんです。もう一度言います。先生が著作者人格権を採用する可能性がある。そこそこグダグダな舞台になるでしょうね。
it'd be a huge flop.
お互い様ですからね。これくらいの駆け引き、舞台に関わる100人以上の仕事を守らなきゃいけない。
Yeah.
ジジイのチの1本や2本見てくれたんですよね。今回の脚本は
Now I know why they call him Rida.
信じてみてくれませんか。
Everyone's learning their lessons here. You love to see it.
自分だけではできないことの集合体なんだから。わかりました。私もプロの仕事を信じます。ただし、一つ条件が。
Just fix that one character.
こういう感じになりましたか。テキストデータをリアルタイムで共有。この場でアビコ先生とゴア君が通話しながら修正していく。
Cutting out all of this telephone game.
わかりました。お願いします。では1ページ目から。原作者と脚本家は仲良くなるか仲悪くなるかのどっちか。で揉めて企画がポセることも多々あるから。仲介屋の仕事としては原作もいい。でもまあもうこれ以上悪くなることもないだろうし、失うものもないし、好きに戦ってくれ。
ブレイドがならず者を倒すシーンはカットしていいです。その代わり、その後の剣とのバトルの中で、剣がブレイドの性格を理解できるように。
それだとだいぶ原作の展開から離れませんか。
いいんです。大事なのはキャラの柱なので、そこさえ。
なるほど。ちょっとずつ先生の許せるラインが見えてきました。
This is so good.
ブレイドはバトルの後、刀を肩に置きながらセリフ。
はいですね。その引き出しは私にはないやつです。
まあそれで食ってるんで、こう見えて結構売れっ子なんですよ。
そう、おばあさんが脚本書いた舞台見ました。
ああ、どうでした。
そのだいぶ好きでした。
普段はああいうの。
東米の舞台でもあの感じ出してください。
いいんですか。だいぶ雰囲気変わっちゃいますよ。
いいです。得意なことはどんどんやっていきましょう。
じゃあ
She's so accommodating when they can work together.
They use Google Docs.
Because they're both in there.
Psychotic laughing.
They
Very
stay up all
nice,
night.
though.
It's very wholesome.
It worked out perfectly.
いい脚本になりました。演じてるシーンが目に浮かぶようです。
本当に
It's just like, I was literally there doing absolutely nothing as they rambled on all night.
But what is this gonna be bad? Is this setting up for failure?
No, I think it's...
Oh, they just didn't get anything done?
クリエイターが団結すると尖った作品になりがちなんだよな。
Oh, is it just gonna be out of budget?
行くしかない。
Oh.
これがうまいものになるのもわかる。
It's just that it's probably so different from the original that all the actors who already, like, memorized everything.
Yeah. Well, they have a good cast, so...
説明台詞がゴリゴリ削られてどうにかしなきゃいけないシーンが多く役者の演技に全投げのとんでもない記録
Now this is what I'm fucking talking about.
君は全部こっちのせいってわけねすぎるんじゃないかしらこれならさや姫の解釈は私と合ってるいつでも発見できる脚本でこれは考察の
She's all excited. She was like, before it was like, oh, I guess I'll just do this.
思ってたくらいだからな。
私はこっちの方
I like that everyone is happy with it, too.
I expected them to be, like, really upset. Or at least, like, worried.
They're used to his style, I guess.
トップが誰か証明するチャンス来たな。
ララライのみんなも新しい脚本にノリノリだけど
What's wrong with Aqua? Oh, and
They're, like, not familiar with it, so
and
it's
he's
just
not.
way...
He's new. He's not a very skilled actor.
Oh, only 2 weeks, yeah.
こんなの朝飯前
He's just
Like,
as lost.
fuck no.
どうだろう。破れることなど万に一つ、いいえ、ごくに一つ。
100名、それはもっと張っていい。
はい。さや姫。
ストップ。
You're ruining the vibe, Aqua.
お前の一番の
She's dying, and you're like,
本気で。
すみません。
He's not a very emotional guy. Yeah, you're like her knight or whatever. You just saw her like or samurai or whatever, what have you. You see your princess just fucking die in front of you.
目覚めたさや姫
spoilers, man.
強い喜びと希望でしょう。
All things that I never experience.
お前は確かに原作通りの演技をしている。感情を出さなければ客席に届かない。
But you can't make it look too cheesy.
Yeah.
ここは感情演技の
And I'm the wrong guy for it. He's not a very emotional person.
ちょっとずつ合わせていけば大丈夫甘やかしちゃダメアクア感情演技したことないでしょ
Aqua.
人格が出るのよねアクアは普段から感情を表に演技にも感情が出てこないどこかで見た見本を見本通りに再現することしかしてきてない性質の問題分かったようなこと言うそりゃそうよこの中でアクアと一番付き合い長いの私をちっちゃい頃からの知り合いだし
Yeah, okay.
Truly a childhood friend.
Yeah, saw each other like one time.
違うのよ
言うて再会したのここさ。
She's thrown in like the romance archetype of the childhood friend just to fucking rub it in. Yes, she's right. Of course she's right. She's a
You're
genius.
smart enough.
感情を高ぶらせ、涙を流す演技なんてもってのほか。
言い過ぎたかも
No. Stop being a people pleaser. You told him how it is.
感情なきか
I just think of you. And then I just start despairing immediately.
アクアくんちお母さんが死んじゃったらどうする
What? Hypothetically, you mean?
Yeah, that was maybe not the one. I know you have your own mommy issues, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
包まれるわけだからまあ嬉しかったことを思いあんただって嬉しかったことの一つや二つあるでしょ
Now, is he gonna think back to the hospital? Think back to his previous life? Are we gonna get more connection to the fact that he was a person before he was a teenage heartthrob?
嬉しかった時の記憶。
When you were a kid the first time, right? Oh.
Not like last week.
楽しん
Jesus. That's just the kind of emotional acting we need, Aqua. Good work. Oh my god.
Fucking 15 years of PTSD just hit him all at once.
Yeah.
茜、彼女だろ、そばにいてやんなって。
はい。便利な設定。
Jealous. Even in this moment.
家の人に連絡して迎えに来て
やめろ。
も。
妹には知られたくない。前を見て余計なことを思い出させた。
Don't say some like cryptic shit that's gonna make
Yeah.
her like.
でも誰かに迎えに来てもらった方が。
俺はこいつのパパじゃないんだよな。君はアクアの彼女かなんか？違う。俺はてっきり。
You thought for sure that what?
俺の知らないところではやることはやってんのか。
I'm sorry. What? What do you mean by that?
What do you mean?
ごめんなさい。
No,
Does he
probably
think
thought he
Aqua was
dating...
gay?
No, he probably thought he was dating,
Ruby?
no, Kana.
まあ、彼女っつうなら話して。
Oh no.
あいつは昔、それやひどい事件に巻き込まれてな。のことを思い出すと、たまにああなるんだ。
PTSD。心的外傷のフラッシュバックってことですか？
カウンセリングも受けてたんだが、あんまり家族に心配かけたくなかったんだろう。したふりしてよ。まあ、そりゃ忘れられねえよな。俺ですら多少は引きずってるんだから。てっから様子見ててやってくれ。
はい。
Jesus. At least he didn't tell her the whole story, which would probably
Yeah.
put it together under
She's
some
a detective,
investigation.
yeah.
Since he's all asking her about I and asking her to do research and shit. She'll probably put it together.
名をつく錆びた金物のような血の匂いがどうしても忘れられない。冷たくなっていく手の感触がいつまでも頭から離れない。俺がもっと注意していれば、身を張って守っていれば。愛。
はい。
Oh boy.
アクア君が信奉する4年前に亡くなったアイドル。愛はアクア君と同じ事務所で同じくアイドル活動をしている妹はビーコ町を復活させた。
Yeah, I mean, all the pieces are there.
Yeah.
愛に強い執着、カウンセリング、愛の殺人事件、複数犯の可
Oh
能性。
boy.
同居しているいちごプロ代表の名前は斉藤美也子。愛の名字は公表されていない。
Oh boy.
愛には実は隠し子がいるとか。
The seed is strong.
ごめん。どうして泣いてるんだ。
ちょっとね、怖い想像しちゃった。もしそうだったらって考えて悲しくて、誰にも言えずに孤独だっただろうなって。私は何があってもアクア君の味方だよ。辛いことは一緒に抱えてあげるからね。
話したよ。
設定の話。
Something about that is really kind of gross.
Do his files on there?
He's investigating it too.
Everyone's hopping on the investigation train right now. Honestly, we should. Akane could probably just find out who their dad is, like immediately. Like she wouldn't even have to try. She'd just be like, "Oh yeah, it's this guy."
Something about her comforting him while pretending to, like, while acting like what she, like, her interpretation of his mom
Yeah.
is really weird.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not that, like, I think what's weird about it is that it's just kind of weird. I had an interpretation of it. It's like it's like she clearly has feelings for him, and she's like not being like in a weird way genuine. She's like channeling a different personality to be with him in this tender moment. Maybe because she thinks it's what he needs, or maybe it's just because it's her own like defense mechanism or something, or like her own thing. It's just I don't know if this interpretation is too meta for the show. If the show is, sort of begging that perspective on it, or if it's just supposed to be a big moment. I don't know how deep they're going with that, but there is something a little bit like, or because I don't know if it's just supposed to be like, oh, in this tender moment he gets to like, because he's with her, he gets to like feel this kind of connection another time, and this is maybe a healing thing. But to me, it just feels like it was creepy the first time when she like resurrected I, and like a weird shocking moment, but also like, oh, we're getting close to the truth. But now that it's in this like tender moment where she is supposed to like, and
they're alone, and it's not for a show, and she shouldn't be putting on an act
because she genuinely does like is attracted to him and likes him and stuff like that. So like it's just weird that she is putting on this face to interact in this moment, and I don't know, and I don't know if the show is wanting me to think of it like that, or if they just want me to think of it like, oh, it's like a weird, it's like a moment. Little miracle.
It's like it's this weird. It's like kind of wholesome, but also kind of weird because it's also her eyes didn't just go like that when she was comforting him, like they went like that when she was thinking about the truth. So it's like, and they originally went like that because she like unlocked something. She like figured out something that no one else did. She like gained such a deeper understanding, and that's what like allowed her to ascend to like Ai's level, previously. And this is kind of the same thing. Like she just, I feel like it's like her being in the zone of either acting or just like knowing like kind of reaching another plane of existence almost. Because it's like now it's like everyone's reading the same script, but she like put all of the pieces together and it has now unlocked the like deeper meaning into it, and then now she will be going through her life with a different understanding than like everyone else in his life,
It's just weird. It's like a kind of Oedipal thing, where the whole show kind of has an Oedipus complex in a way, because it's Aqua as a doctor guy, like being in love with I, and then like being reborn closer to her, but also still having these like affectionate feelings towards her, and then all the stuff happens, and he has this connection to her. So for his girlfriend to be like that's why I'm not sure about the interpretation, whether it's supposed to be a weird thing or whether it's supposed to be a good thing, because like Aqua, with all of these sort of like literal like Oedipus complex feelings, the fact that his girlfriend is manifesting this spirit is I think it feels it's like a comforting, like it feels right, or like it should, you know what I mean? Like familiar. I don't think it does. Yeah, but it's because this connection that he had with this person that he admired and that he cared about and he wanted to protect. It's like these are all like the way he talks about I is not like, he doesn't really talk about her like a mom. He talks about her like,
he never says like he's not calling out mom in his sleep. He's calling her by her first name.
He never said mom. Yeah. He's always said I. And I thought that was about an attachment to his previous life, but I think it's more
about an attachment to her as he viewed her as an adult.
So it just kind of, it makes some conflicting emotions in this moment, and I don't know whether that's like, you never know how deep the rabbit hole actually is with a series, because you can make as many interpretations as possible, but at a certain point it feels like the simplest one is sometimes more likely. But in this case, that would mean a significantly more like shallow and sort of kind of fucked up way of looking at it, and not in a way that's like exploring something, but more in a way that's like wanting something, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. See where that goes, but it's just kind of it's a weird scene, and I don't know how to feel about it. I guess we'll have to see how the interpretation goes as it goes forward. But so far, it feels more like a longing for like a relationship rather than.
Well, it also feels like in this thing, Akane is just like, it's like she has unlocked this secret, and she's not going to tell him that she figured it out. She's just going to...
I think she kind of did. Didn't she kind of say, like, she said, like, oh, you have to live with that for so long. It's like, and then he had to look like, oh. I think that she, thinking how lonely it must have been not being able to tell anyone. Like, I think she put it together, she basically said it, and then she, like, comforts him. So I think that, you know, she's not, like, not gonna tell him. She pretty much told him.
Yeah. I guess.
But the script stuff is dope.
I like that. I like their little Zoom call there talking about... And I like how it, like, all got together, and then the producer guy is like, okay, this is great, but now we are, like, out of time. So this is going to be how it's going to be, and hopefully it's going to be really good. And yeah, I do like the whole thing of Aqua, just his style of acting not at all working on the stage. Because it makes sense, he was very successful on his TV things, but obviously that's a lot different. And now that the script has been revised to be a lot more about the emotions of the characters, he's gonna need to turn it up a couple notches. But he's probably gonna have to try a different technique than just imagining if his mom died, because that's, first of all, just emotionally taxing.
I think that they're building up for the opposite. I think that they're building up for him to have to tap into that in order for this to happen, because the person who can embody his mom is going to be dying in his arms. Fucked up. So he's going to channel that, and she's going to, like, be there comforting him in that moment, while she's also literally pretending to die with the face and embodying the spirit of his mother who died in front of him. So, like... But also, again, his mother that died in front of him, but he's holding this princess who they're, like, love interest.
And then she does come back to life, unlike his mother.
Well, also like his mother, because she's technically coming back to life in akane. So, again, it's this weird twisting of this, you know, a loving relationship and, like, a parental bond.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of messed up. Like, the more you think about it, the more kind of messed up.
That's what I'm saying, is it's like, that's why, that's so, like, this sort of crossing of the streams in the way that the play is doing it, and what it means to the story is, like, it trends more towards, you know, anime love story with a little bit of edginess or, like, darkness to it, rather than, you know, I guess, like, more of a parental. I guess it's, you know, it is in a way more complex, but it's, like, it's I don't know. We'll have to see if it's more for if it's more for, like, a character exploration, or if it's more, like, just a sort of weird anime incest love story that's, like, supposed to be about cute anime girls. Like, that is, you know, is it all just a way to, like, have a deep bond with an anime girl, or is it, you know, or is there going to be something beyond that, like, cultural sort of, that's what I meant when I said, like, shallow. Is it, like, you know, like, if the purpose is a real character study or, like, things like that, then it can be interesting. But if the character study and the whole, like, complex emotions are just a way to have cute anime girls being emotional for the main character, or having the main character be, like, edgy, cool guy who's in a rough spot with all these girls who want to bang him, or, like, that, you know, or that just, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and with a weird, like, incest turn to it, you know, like, it depends on what's the primary goal, and what's the primary, like, interest of the story. Is it just about cuteness and, like, I mean, like, that's like a sort of really reductive way to put it, but, you know, is it just about anime girls being anime girls and, like, having highly emotionally charged moments with a main character that people can identify with? or is it, you know, actually exploring something more meaningful? The show thus far has explored things a lot more meaningful, like, you know, the entertainment industry stuff and all that kind of thing. And Akane's whole backstory and her whole episode last season was, and like her whole arc last season was very you know, the show is not normally a shallow show. So, you know, I have high hopes for it, but, you know, there's always a fear when you get into things like this where it's just like, it just kind of feels sort of base in a way. I don't know.
Like, you just don't know where it's gonna go with it.
Yeah, because I'm not super interested in, like, anime, incest, romance, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not interested in like, exploring that just as it is, like, just that as a marker for romantic success. I'm not, like, I don't really... I've never understood that. I've never, like, got why that is something that people really want. So I just, whenever I see it, I'm just like, why? What's the? I hope there's like, there probably is another point. But whenever I see it, I get worried because I'm just like, is this a fetishization or like some sort of a way to explore some kind of a weird kink that the author has, or like that they think that the audience has? Or, you know, is that the real underlying purpose for all of the complexity? Is that all just like a justification for something like that? Or is the, you know, the character exploration and the plot an actual, you know,
I
for the sake of
feel
itself?
like, depending on like what's gonna happen, I feel like potentially rehearsing and having to kind of work through this because he's been repressing it for so long could, in a weird way, maybe be good for, like, kind of like a, like, exposure therapy a little bit, for Aqua, of having to kind of, you know, confront that idea over and over again, so that he doesn't just have a you know, panic attack every time that it even crosses his mind, you know?
Yeah.
Either, like, it could help or it could make it worse, or there could be, like, some sort of weird thing, you know, going on with it. But I guess it'll kind of remain to be seen. I wonder if that's what, like, Ruby in the OP, when it's, like, she's watching the play and she's, like, getting blown away, I wonder if that's, like, when Akane, like, turns on her, like, what are they gonna, what's in the play, and then that's when Ruby just gets, like, absolutely bamboozled and
what's
blown
Aqua
away.
or what's how is Aqua gonna keep Ruby from, you know, the whole situation when, you know, this whole scene plays out and Akane is literally embodying the spirit of I, while Aqua, her brother, is, like, freaking out, like, while she's dying. You know, I bet that's gonna lead to some character development between Ruby and Aqua.
Yeah, I feel like I would really love more scenes between them, you know? Like, and just more stuff of Ruby in general. I feel like we never see her, and I want to see her.
Yeah, well, it's just, like, it's kind of, we talked about a bunch how there's, like, a spy family dynamic where there's the spy aspect and then there's the family aspect. And, but in this show, it's Aqua is, like, the murder mystery aspect, and then Ruby is kind of set up to be the entertainment industry aspect, and they're kind of both two sides of the same coin. But then when Aqua ends up being the entertainment industry aspect as well, then Ruby doesn't really have a role other than just being in the background and you know, just being another girl in the show. You know, leave a like and subscribe. Moving right along.
Whoa.
You should have time to learn how to cook.
あんまり食欲ない子供がすんな
アクア君の助けになろう君が私を助けてくれたみたいにうちも君を支えたいアクア君が出てる作品見せてください
俺はいいけどよ
別にいいけどやった俺がいないところで見てくれ
僕は死にたくない一緒にここから出ようよ
小学生あんまり人に見せたくなかったはずなんだが
やってる映像とかないの
あるにはあるけど
見せんなの迷いで黒歴史
実はこの撮影の時も今回みたいに倒れてな自分の感情を出すのが得意じゃないらしい過去の経験を引っ張り出そうとすると器用なやつだからよどっかで見た演技を自分の中でそれっぽい演技ができちまうんだ 一つの才能だと思うんだが、本人は気に食わないみたいだな。才能がないとしょっちゅうこぼしてる。
アクア君はどうして演劇やってるの？
別に何だっていいだろ
よくないよ。大事なことだよ。になりたいから？お金のため？特別な存在になりたいから？
どうなんだよ。
楽しいからやってる。
そんな感じだよな。俺がどうして役者をやるかなんて言っても理解してもらえないし、言うつもりもない。
アクア君は人とのコミュニケーションが大事っていう割に自分自身はすごくそういうところなんじゃないですか？
だったら、もし俺の目的が人を殺すことだったらどうする？芸能界の上に目的、そいつを殺すために上に行きたい。そう言ったらどうする？
一緒に殺してあげる。
気軽に言うなよ。
だって殺したいって思う人でしょ？多分それなりに理由があると思うんだ。正しい正しくないじゃないよ。すごい悪い子だとしても私くらい
It's a
は
little bit
ありのままの
crazy talk right now.
罪を背負うなら私も一緒に背負いたい。そういう覚悟で彼女な
As your TV girlfriend.
彼氏彼女だとしてもさ、私のことまともだと思ってくれてたんだ。
I think we should go to a psychiatric hospital.
責務？
に勝ちたい。
Hmm.
姫川さんにもね。絶対に負けた
I'll help you kill someone in return. I want to be a better actor.
一人じゃ負けたら悔しくて死んじゃうかも。私を見殺しにする気？彼氏なの。
そうだ。彼女を死なせないのは彼氏の責務だな。
姫川とアリマ
What the fuck was that conversation?
できれば
Are you okay right now?
明日から稽古が終わったらここに来い。叩き直してやる。
I thought that guy just like is like, yeah, I'll help you. Mm. This guy also just watching his terrible past performances.
ちゃんとやれてるか心
I
配。
haven't seen him in months. Let me in here.
あ、今日のドラマに大根の人。
アクアの妹かなんか？
ですです。
あいつならもう帰ったよ。でももう終わってる。俺は居残りでちょっとやらせてもらってるだけで。
お兄ちゃん毎日帰ってくる変わる頃だし、私てっきり。じゃあ毎晩してるの？
そういや最近帰って。
黒川さん。ちょっと電話して聞いてみよう。ルビー、野暮赤。何野暮って？綺麗な彼女と二人で帰って、いつも遅くまで帰ってこない。答えは一つやる。わかんない。お兄ちゃんは何をしてるの？エッチなこと。
I need to stop this.
毎晩だよ。毎晩なんだよ。見かけによらず、あっちは元気ないよな。そら、高校生であんな美人な彼女おったらどうやって。お兄ちゃんはそんなことしない。高校生の子相手に、そんな軽はずみに子供ができるような真似しない。心の底から軽蔑する。ルビー？大丈夫。
Good point.
私はお兄ちゃんを信じてる。
Yeah.
ごめんなさい。ちょっとトイレお借りしてもいいですか？
ああ、案内するよ。
Mm.
It's a heavy episode.
Yeah.
Oh, Kenma, are you supposed to be on the fucking Nekoma team?
You should be in the volleyball
Yeah.
play that was going on.
せっかくだし今度みんなで遊ぼうよ。これ俺の LINE。鴨志田さん、緊急招集。マジ？金田一さん怒ると怖えんだから。次の機会ね。んだよ、誰もいねえじゃん。まあ、嘘だし。
You're being really creepy with that girl.
We've got to be strategic about this.
そんなに大事なことだろ。
I'm a player in more ways than one.
次出ねえよ師匠なんてわかんないだろ俺たちはプロなんだからろくに演技もできねえやつが俺にプロ語るとか笑う
That's rude.
片手間にドラマやって今度はコネで舞台のああ自分が一番下手なの自覚してるお前が作品の質を落としてんだけど評価されてここにいるでお前は何ができんの切って説教かましてくんの一番ダセえのよ母さんが言ってくるなら俺だって聞くんですけどさお前は偉そうに語ってる場合かよあの子胸でかかったのになやってらんねえ分かってんだよそんなのあいつとやった時から
お兄ちゃんの友達って言うから LINE 交換してみんなでご飯行こうってとしても役者としても尊敬できて人格もいる前提で言うんだけど女の連絡先をガツガツ聞いてきて500円そいつは高確率でやりちんだよすごい何睨んでないんですけど
You look like you're glaring.
私の時だけ異様にキッとしてるでしょもうこうなんですけどかなちゃんが自分のこと特別盛り上がってるからそう感じるだけじゃない私を誰だと思って早くよーってみっともなくしがみついて今の自分を磨く努力はしてるの
It's a little bit unnecessary.
随分と口が悪くいらっしゃってまあ嫌いなんでしょうね大嫌いで大嫌いそういうこと言うそうなのよねちゃんそれ
何その本
ちょっとね小耳に挟んじゃったのね天才役者と名高い気になった役者がいるってやねまああんなにすごい役者さんの憧れの人ってどんな人かと気になってプロカでやった舞台のインタビューがあるって聞いて当時のバックナンバー2
Oh no. It's gonna be Kana. Bell pepper exercise.
Oh god.
Her like main scene partner.
雑な感情だったの
全然そんなんじゃないよ昔はそうだったテレビ見てて大人気のかなちゃんを見てその気持ちを持って自動で入ったでも実物みたいな人のことこんな風にバカにしてスタイリスト気取りで人気者気取りでお金稼いでスタッフさん稽古でこんな
無理して張り合おうとするな根が真面目なお前じゃ煽り合いがあるのに意外とダメージ入ったなちょっと調子乗ったな
そっちだって代表したでしょうが
きつい感じやっぱ有馬レスが強いんだこれはこっちでこれはこっちで抑えてくる
I think you're the one who brought in the problem today.
All she did was look at her, though.
いや俺も子役の頃の有馬と共演した
出してよせっかく終わってたでしょ
いやそんな
She's the high level person.
Yes,
in
yeah.
entertainment.
I understand now. Well, I said I'll help you, and she's beheading Kana in the fucking green room.
Switches out the weapons for real ones. Okay, like, relax.
仮にも同じ事務所のアクアの彼女なんだしさうまく
ビジネス上のね
やった方が
まあ理由は同年代の一よ別に共演するのは今回が初めてじゃない
It's
な
not.
んでかやるたびに揉めてきたのやり方から違うし
It's not their first time acting together.
アプローチも
I
いい
seem,
演技って
don't
い
you
うもの
remember
の
that?
考え方も違う
What else did they act in together?
演技からはしあなたは違うそういう圧を感じるわけ本当にムカつく第二次成長期過ぎたらただの一般人って言われ続けて
Her eyes.
本当仕事が来なかは茜は天才とか言われて今まさに評価されていてこのままだと るじゃない。
因縁の相手ってわけか。
なるわね。でも安心して。私は一度も思ったことないから。
姫川さんから見て、有馬と
Just
白川
asks him.
どっちの方が優勢なんで、どっちもうまいし、優劣つけるだけヤバだと思うけど。
Very
そこをあえ
diplomatic.
て言うなら。黒川は異質な演技するし、天才って言われるだけあるの方が、演技というものに執着が強い。
Mm.
まあ、本番の仕上がり次第ってところだろうけど、今回は有馬が勝つ。
I thought so too.
Mm.
俺がいるから。
Yeah, because the scene partner's better.
Yeah.
But
姫川さんは
he doesn't.
But
He
if
can't
Aqua
draw.
turns it up a
He
notch.
can't draw on that crazy childhood trauma.
Yeah. Everyone's so petty.
Yeah,
Everyone's
they're
so
actors.
mean.
この後稽古
What did you expect?
Whoa.
Whoa!
絶対に負けない。緊張してる？
Oh, it's like opening already.
Time skip.
Mhm. She's so excited.
慣れないものよね。自分の作ったものが世界で自分だけしか面白いと思わないものだったら、そう思うと。
大丈夫ですよ。的には満足しています。だとしたら、最低でも2人は面白いと思っている人がいることになりますよね。割となってたのに。
Yeah, through a
気にしないで
screen.
ください。場に費やして男子の免疫ないだけなんで、気にせずグイグイ絡んでください。が嬉しい子なんで。
Speaking for her directly.
最終的に役者にかかってる。皆さん実力のある方々なので、いい舞台になると信じてますよ。
実力ね。
The one weak link.
うわ、めっちゃ可愛い子いる。
あんたの妹だよ。
マジか。
親の顔見てみたい。
絶対美人だろうな。
You have no idea.
なるにはやっぱり後ろじゃないとね。気分いいね。どうやらないね。監督だ。相変わらず怖い顔。アクアが呼んだのかしら。
Aqua.
監督さん会うなんてらしくないことするのね。
I hope more people show up than this, or this is going to be a bit of a money losing endeavor.
外傷については根本的な解決はできていない。この舞台でパニックが出たり、
He just starts throwing up on top of her on the
それ
stage.
ほどリスクは高まる。だが、になるあいつを見るのはいつぶりだろうな。とかするんだろう。お前だって一発の役者なんだから。
かつて天才だとか持ち上げられた私と、今まさに天才とか言われてる宗家の意識はしちゃうのよね。というのもちょっと尺だけど、あんたとまたやるの楽しみ。
Again.
ここであんたに勝って最高役なんて呼ばせなくしてやるから。あちゃんとやるの楽しみにしてたよ。ずっと楽しみにしてたんだから。
はい。はい。はい。
I don't know if this is going to work for you in the long run.
Of course it will. He needs to get to the top. He's using the demon within him.
それでいい。足りない才能を補うために使えるものは全部使う。それが僕のやり方だ。
Method acting. He's method.
全部出してこい。
I really hope we see it next episode. And it's
I
not
hope
just
that the
cutting
next episode is
afterwards.
just the whole thing.
What if they literally pulled out a double episode length in the middle of the season?
And it was just the full
Just
play.
to show up, like, I mean, it would be 40 minutes, it wouldn't be the full length,
Yeah.
but like, it would be closer and a lot better. That would be
And
so
just
sick.
the rest of the season was just the full length of the play.
I would be
I would
so
be down for it.
down for that.
They're not gonna do it because that's
They
not
don't have
really
the
a
balls.
good.
Because they don't have the fucking balls to do it. They could do it and do it like the
Imagine
opening
if
shot
you
of the
did
first
that.
episode, where
Imagine-
it's just from the seat perspective.
Yeah. Imagine if they did that, and then it turns out that that Tokyo Blade was actually so popular, and then
It's
then
a
they had to
spin-off
like go,
manga?
they had to go back and rewrite all of Tokyo Blade as a manga.
That would be sick. What'd you think of that?
Another great episode. I liked this one. I felt like it was good. Everyone was just being so petty though and so jealous of each other.
Mm-hmm.
But that was funny when she pulled out the thing and it was like, oh,
It's an
her
interview.
inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
that was really good. I feel like that's
Classic
that's
moment.
really funny.
And then the bell pepper exercise
in the
background.
That was really good. Don't know how to feel about her just being like, oh yeah, it's fine if you want to murder someone. Me, your TV social media girlfriend, I'll help you do it. It's just
Yeah.
like, so, and the way that her eyes changed there was so creepy. It was
Yeah.
very unsettling.
I mean, there's always been, like, ever since we saw the her research thing, we've known
Yeah.
that there's like a creepy undertone to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But it's just like, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
For it to be just like, you know what I mean? Like, just say that shit out loud is kind of insane.
Yeah, for real.
Mm-hmm. I think, I mean, it would not be funny. It would be a totally different show. But could you imagine, like, she's just like, oh, I see. The person who you want to kill is Kana, and then just kills her. That would be so stupid. That'd be, I mean, like, it wouldn't be funny, but it would be kind of funny.
You like the whole thing with Ruby's girlfriend over here?
Mm-hmm.
Just, like, getting creeped on by this weirdo.
And then he gets told off and is like, oh no, you shouldn't date your, like, coworker's sister's friend because it's too complicated. So then he just, like, just to be an asshole, just goes after Ruby instead.
I think it just shows that he just doesn't care at
Yeah.
all. You know.
I also just love how they're immediately like, no, you delete this guy. We're
Yeah.
blocking him. He sucks.
They're like,
no. No.
Ruby's just so innocent. Well, I like that because it's like, I like Ruby acting like this because it makes a lot of sense. And we saw the thing with her when her friend was like, oh, there's only one thing that they would do, like being together. Like, I don't know why you're not thinking. It's just like, he would never do that, first of all.
Yeah.
And I liked it. I liked that scene because it's exactly what I wanted, or what I still want, out of, like, the Akane Aqua relationship, where, okay, this requires some context. So, like, both of us, but generally me, talk about how much, like, I hate isekai because it's like a limp dick way of not committing to, like, the fantasy element. Instead, you need to have this person that people can self-insert into so that, and they start in real life so that they can go into a fantasy world, so that, it's kind of a cheap way of making pandering, basically.
And yeah, you don't have to explain things as well because you're, like, introducing them through this guy.
It's just a convention. I don't like isekai because of the pandering nature of it. That's what I was afraid of, and what I'm always afraid of when a story like this, because there's a similar thing going on in this show where it's like you start out as a normal person and then you get reborn as, like, the anime main character, basically. But instead of, like, a video game, you're, like, in this, like, Light Yagami-esque revenge plot type thing. So you could think of it like the fear is that it's just a way for the series to pander to its audience and make it easier for a normal person to identify with them. And thus being, like, a shortcut to people being invested in buying your shit. So that's something that I generally don't like, and that's something that I was afraid of with this storyline. And it's something that with Aqua, I continue to be afraid of, even with this episode and with the stuff with Akane, whether it's creepy for the sake of being creepy, and it's just kind of skin deep, or just to give you that weird moment of, like, oh my god, this is so weird, or whether, whether it has, like, legs to it. It remains to be seen, but something that gives me hope is when we get to Ruby, because when Ruby's scenes show up and they're serious, like when she and her friend are talking about, like, her friend's like, oh, he's probably, like, fucking his girlfriend, and then Ruby, like, there's this whole thing of, like, again, they're playing on the convention of this incestuous sort of, like, sister complex Oni-chan type thing, but instead it's having to do with their serious trauma, and and she's not like, oh, he wouldn't do that because that would be bad. Because that would be bad. I don't want my brother to be fucking his girlfriend. That's like bad because
that's offensive to me.
Because secretly I'm in love with him, and it's weird. And then, but that component normally in a show is pandering to the type of isekai dude who like is starved of female attention and would take it from anywhere, and then is seeing like this female archetype of like the little sister, and then this one of the childhood friend, and then this one of like the whatever, the girl next door or whatever, like all these different things. This normal series would use all these conventions just to pander. So the reason I'm using the thing with Ruby, like that's the kind of thing what I mean when I say like it has legs, is because the point of the story is not supposed to be just that kind of pandery isekai self-insert bullshit plot, you know, for that. They use that style and that thing so that when Ruby and her friend are talking about, you know, oh, I don't want my brother to fuck other people, and then the friend's like, oh, why not? Oh, what, do you secretly love him? Are you weird? No, blah, blah, blah. Instead, there's like this dark moment where it's like, no, he would never get a girl pregnant as a teenager because that's unforgivable, and I would fucking kill him if he ever did anything like that. And not because it reflects on the sort of pandery nature of that type of convention, but because it has roots in the actual stories. That's what I mean by having legs. They're using these things that are like stupid tropes to affect in the story. So that it's a long-winded thing, but that's why the thing with akane worries me, because it's and the thing with aqua like having a certain relationship with I worries me, because it's still straddling that thing of, is this bait for, you know, a female attention starved teenagers who are reading this manga to like have their different girl archetype that they fall in love with. Oh, I like kana. Oh, I like akane. Oh, I like I. But I feel like I'm aqua. So like, you know, like, and all these different sort of, you know, things. Like there are conventions in storytelling in anime, and I just am so tired in general of them just being used at face value. So then that's what I'm worried about. And that's what is proven to be not the case in many other parts of the story. It's just that it's still straddling the line with Aqua and his feelings towards I and stuff like that. But the things with Ruby and what she's saying there really, you know, show kind of what that the show is using a kind of deeper understanding of these conventions and actually doing something interesting with it, you know what I'm saying? So like that's what I mean. I was trying to explain that last time, but now that we have like another example of what I mean by what I actually want rather than just a bunch of shit that I don't like or wouldn't like, you know, and I think now people can hopefully understand what I mean. But yeah. Sorry.
I'm really excited for the play. I really hope that we get to see like a fair bit of it. Yeah. I'm excited. Like I just hope that we get to see more of it. I like that everyone's out supporting. I like they're like sitting in the back, and then they're like, oh yeah, if you sit in the back, then that means that you're like involved. And then Ruby's like, yeah, gets all excited about it.
Although after I said all of that shit, I am 100% Kana supremacy, but not because she's like my waifu or anything, just because she's actually a funny and interesting character, and she's like witty. So yeah. That's where I'm at.
I mean, I like their little, like, rivalry going on of, like, oh, the person who, like, used to be the genius and the person who is right now. And then the one who, like, is, like, trying to reclaim her glory. Bryden, you coming over here?
Maybe. Yeah, because it's a similar, like, dichotomy you normally see of, you know, the genius versus the hard worker.
Yeah.
But they're both, in a way, geniuses.
It's also interesting to, like, thinking about it of how, like, Akane is so into acting and stuff, but I feel like, weirdly, it, like, doesn't come as... Well, like, it does, but, like, it maybe comes a little bit more naturally to her in some ways, so she, like, doesn't... Like, she doesn't... Like, I didn't think about it like this before, but I think that guy was right when he's just like, I think that Kana just wants it more.
Yeah.
Like, she And maybe it's just because Akane has it right now, so she's not, like, pushing forward and trying to get... And now she is, because she's, like, seen some competition and is like, okay, now I need to pick.
I think the difference is one of them's internally motivated and one of them is externally motivated. So Kana is very... Well, he says, like, she has an obsession for acting, and that's exactly it, is that she really likes acting. Like, the way she talks about acting and the way that she goes about everything comes from a place of passion for the act of acting, whereas Akane, all of her problems and all of her desires stem from people like looking upon her favorably. She's doing it for an external factor. Like, that's why when she was on the reality show, what mattered to her so much, she took that so seriously, and it wasn't that, like, she was worried about getting work after necessarily. She was getting, it was a commentary on, stardom and celebrity and, like, death
other
threats
people's
and all.
perception of you.
Her depression was stemming from other people's impression of her, and it almost drove her to suicide. And obviously there's a lot of stories about, like, everybody talks about how there was that one Japanese actress on, like, a reality show who killed herself, and that was possibly reference to that, or just generally that type of phenomenon. So like, in that case, it was less of a like weird metaphorical thing and more of just a depiction of things that actually happen. But her, like, if you think about Akane's character in general, it's that, her depression and her joy stems from people sort of congratulating her or not congratulating her or talking shit on her. Whereas Kana's appreciation is like, she wants to prove herself, but she generally has, like, more of an internally motivated passion for acting, like, in general, than Akane does.
Like, you can tell, like, when she's doing it and it's, like, really, like, she feels like she's in the zone. She's, like, so...
She feels
excited.
alive.
It really invigorates her. And I think it's also because she matches other people. So when she gets a good matchup, she's kind of unstoppable, which is also, like that guy was saying, it's like, well, she has me, and I'm really good, so then that makes her look even better. Whereas Akane she's, like, the one that's already on the upper level. So she's, like, her job is to try and make Aqua look good. But, like, he's not... I mean, he probably will be in the performance, but he hasn't been at that level that he's able to, like... She's reflecting it onto him, and then he reflects it back onto her, and then they both just look amazing, you know? But that's why I can't wait for the actual show.
Yeah.
To really see the final results of all their hard work and stuff.
Gonna be sick. Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you next one, Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.